girl Cameron, and I'm back at it again with another video. We're going to be talking about the reasons why I love and hate Grownish. Ever heard of a love and hate relationship? This is that. I recently on my channel, I did a review of On My Block season 3, and that was the first time that I really covered a TV show, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. And I know that Grownish went off technically for the first part of season 3 like about a month ago, and I think it's returning in the summer, so we shall see. But I thought this would be a nice little precursor to whenever that is, and talk to you guys a little bit about how I feel about the show, the characters, yada yada yada. It might seem random, but quarantine content, right? So please comment down below, what do you guys think of Grownish? What do you guys think about my opinion? Let me know. And please hit that subscribe button down below. You will not regret it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. We're kind of going to get into what the premise of the show is, just for anybody who might be tuning in who doesn't know what it is or forgot. I don't know why you would, but it's basically following the lives of mainly main character Zoe Johnson, who goes off to college. It's a spinoff of the show Blackish. So I actually didn't really watch Blackish that much, watched a few episodes here and there, but Zoe goes off to college. She goes off to university and she starts freshman year. So season 1 was freshman year, they're now juniors, and it basically follows her friends, her group of friends, guys, girls, yada yada yada, college struggles, which we'll get into that, because girl, I'm a college student, and that's, come on, right? And we will get into characters, some things I like, some things I don't like about pretty much each of the characters. But first off, the first thing that I would say that I do like about the show is I like that actors casted outside of their characters, if that makes any sense. But I think that the vibe and the feel and the chemistry between the characters is really good. For instance, they chose a group of kids who I felt like were actually some that were influential in the lives of teenagers today, and was really relevant to the topic. So for instance, they chose Yara Shahidi, they chose Chloe and Halle, which is doing big things for the culture right now, especially for younger people. We got Trevor Jackson, Francia Raisa, she was in Secret Life of the American Teenager. She was in a lot of other things. Bring It On with Solange Knowles. The casting was really good. I feel like they wanted to truly make this a moment, and I do appreciate that to an extent, because I do like Yara Shahidi a lot. I like Chloe and Halle a lot. Trevor Jackson's cool, so I do think Diggy Simmons is in that show. Come on now. So I will say that I do like it for that standpoint. Another thing that's really interesting is I was also excited about the show because on the show they're following them. You know, they start freshman year, and it's very funny because they're the same exact age as me. So when I was going into freshman year, they were starting their freshman year. Another season, junior year, I'm in my junior year. So that also was like a connecting point for me, because I'm sure not everybody who watched the show could relate in that sense. It's cool. I feel like it was relatable to that extent, but as a singular viewer, that might be more relatable to me versus someone else. Now, the thing about the show also that added appeal is a show about college. There's not many shows out right now that are offering that perspective. And a lot of us are in school. We go to university, we work jobs, we do all of that. So it definitely has a nice appeal to it, and I liked it for that reason. Now, here's where we start to get a little confused. As far as the writing and the storyline goes, season 1 I thought was great, and season 2 was okay. It wasn't bad. Season 3 was no. Season 1, even though, you know, it was really good, I think it was playing a little bit with a fantasy, a fun little fantasy of what college is like. And very quickly when I started watching the show, I was like, I'm not gonna get exactly everything I want, because everything is glamorized, which is cool, but at the same time, I like the real. I like when it's not just like a mockery of relatability or reality, but I like it when they try to get as close to something. So I for instance, an example is A Different World. I feel like that show was It's a classic, but that show did a good job, I feel like, of kind of capturing the college experience. It was TV, but I didn't feel like it wasn't too TV. You look at the dorm rooms were realistic. You look at the cast, you look at the libraries, you look at the study halls, the environment, I feel like was a lot more realistic, right? This show is very like, it's cute. But especially as somebody who's going through college, it was like, girl, this don't happen. So another thing, some of the episodes were just stupid, trivial, and otherwise just really weren't necessary, didn't make sense. So the first thing, the episode about when Sky finds her boyfriend or a guy that she likes, and he looks to me like he looked like he was mixed to me. I didn't really think that they would make a problem out of this, and the way that they did it was just very odd to me.
The issue just is not black or white.
Yes, it is, Rodney, and you need to choose a side, black or white.
Trevor Jackson's character, Aaron, was like, he's white. You know he's white, right? And she's like, no, he's not. I call him Rodney, yada, yada, yada. It was just so stupid. And I got to the point where I was like, why don't you just ask him? Like, she was trying to find hints and things like that. And then I started to think, okay, maybe he's adopted or something, but because then they showed that he had 2 white parents.
Damn, those people might glow in the dark.
And I was like, that boy, at least in real life, is definitely mixed with something. So I thought that was a little odd. They never revisited it, but the whole video was basically about them dancing around the fact if Rodney was white or mixed. And I was like, can you just ask? I thought it was a little like they were trying to take a play off of like the whole biracial kind of ambiguity thing, but it just really like, it was just stupid to me. I was just like, just ask the boy what he is. And if he wanted to tell you, he'd tell you. And if he's white, who cares? You know, like who gives a crap? Another thing that was not realistic. Season 1, when Zoe got into a relationship with Cash. Cash was like the basketball team star. Like he was getting called up by ESPN. Like, okay, we're gonna play, yada, yada, yada. He confessed his love for her like literally on TV.
I don't know what my plans are after the season, but I know wherever I do end up, I want that girl with me. And I'm saying it right here on your show.
And then was like, Zoe, do you want to drop out of college? Mind you, it was her first semester of freshman year. First off, can we talk about the myth? A lot of people think you're going to go to college, you're going to fall in love, you're going to have a little boo that you can study with, eat with. It does not happen like that for most people, okay? Let alone a basketball star.
I'm not gonna act like it's not hot to see the man you love on national television.
Maybe if you go to a D1 school, but a lot of those athletes be on another thing, okay? So to me, I was already kind of like, I know Zoe is pretty and all, but like she ain't got that much pull. Like that would not happen, okay? Talking about trying to quit school. In season 2, the girls move into an apartment. It was dusty, right? I believe it's a campus apartment as well. And there's also more restrictions, I feel like, that you can't do on a college campus apartment than a real apartment, and let alone even a real apartment that you're renting. Like, I don't think you can do all that. But as you could see, they literally had a redecorate party, and they painted the walls. They got all this furniture. The floor looked like it was different. There was patterns. I said, come on. Even season 1, the dorms were not realistic whatsoever. And to me, a big part of capturing college life is the dorm, the living aspects. I feel like it could have been tweaked a little bit, so much just to make it more realistic, a little less silly and like glamorized, because college is not that. And I get it's a TV show, guys. But I also think that, is his name Kenya Barris or whatever? He came out with this Black AF show recently too, and it's really not that relatable. Okay, and sometimes I think some of his shows try to take a play off the relatability, and he does make some good points, but sometimes I think it's fumbled because he's trying so hard to like be in and like do the kid thing and like know what's happening, but it doesn't really work sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So, something big, comment down below if you have noticed this, because I have. Y'all know that there's this hangout spot that they go to at night, It's definitely on campus because the little bartenders ask for their student ID. It's like a club on campus. And they're always ordering drinks at the bar. Now listen, I told y'all already that I'm the same age as them, same year. I think they were going to this little bar season 2, so they were sophomores. They weren't 21. Now we all know that kids drink and all that stuff prior to that, probably starting at the age of 16, okay? But to me, it looked like there was like an actual place on campus you could go to the bar and drink, and they would take your student ID, and it was school like function, school sponsored, and the bartender was just giving these underage children drinks. Some of y'all might be like nitpicky, but to me, I was like, all right. I was like, okay, this is a little, y'all are just, he's just trying to do whatever. I was like, that's not even realistic. This is not necessary to make the show better. I was like, you would be better off having them go to a house party or a kickback or something like that, instead of trying to make up this theoretical bar that just gives alcohol to underage children. It was those elements of the show that I felt like writing wise, setting wise, that kind of took away from, for me, the initial excitement that I had for the show. Like, I'm going through this too, and then I quickly realized, like, college is not this fun. It's not like this. Now, we're gonna go over into our character breakdown because some of these characters just grind my gears. Love, hate, okay? Love, hate. So, Zoe Johnson. I've actually seen a lot of people say this, but a lot of people don't like her. She's a main character. Yara Shahidi, love her in real life. Do not like her character on this show. Season 1, it took me honestly up to about season 3 to come to this conclusion that she is probably the most annoying, entitled, selfish.
You need somebody to kiss to get over your ex. I'm your man, right?
How'd it take me this long to realize how selfish you are?
Brat on this damn show. In theory, she's nice, but that doesn't necessarily make you a good person. And I think that kind of watching a lot of things, like everything's kind of handed to her. I get it. She kind of grew up with a silver spoon. Her dad's paying for school, doesn't have a job. There was one episode where she had to get a job and she was literally crying.
What did I do? Get a job, bitch!
She got a job at a boutique, but she wanted to do things her way, so she got fired because she wanted to style the mannequins. She told you to fold the damn clothes. That was one thing. Entitled. Second, then she got a job at some restaurant to literally sit in a box and look cute for like $100 an hour, and she was complaining about that. Then she had to work at the bookstore. I don't want to work at the bookstore.
We're hiring.
Ew.
I was trying to give you the hookup, but I see you on your little bougie tip, so...
Because she got cut off by her dad. It's like, how are you paying for your apartment now? How are you paying for your car? And then you just expect money to fall out of the sky. I felt like that was an episode where I was like, this girl's really entitled and I don't like it. In real life, if I knew a Zoe Johnson, I wouldn't like Zoe Johnson. We wouldn't be friends. And that's the one thing I can say that I like about the show, is that I can look at it from that aspect. Like, I can see these people in real life. Zoe kind of is the character who has everyone falling at her feet. She always has guys falling at her feet. Season 1, she ended in a love triangle. Really just Luca and Aaron. But even the way that she handled that situation to me was very, I don't know. She just seems kind of like the girl who gets everything she wants. Everything in her life is great. She gets an internship like sophomore year for like Teen Vogue, freshman year of school. That doesn't happen, right? Like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. So Zoe, main character, don't really like her. So next we have Jazz and Sky. Few words about them. First of all, why do they always have an attitude? You know how you have those friends who like are your friends, but they low-key shade you all the time, and they're low-key like not your friends? That's Jazz and Sky. Somebody always has a nasty, snarky ass comment to make. Somebody always has something to say. I get it. Zoe's annoying. But a lot of the times, to me, like especially Sky, I feel like there's a difference between tough love and just being straight up, plain out, disrespectful, rude, insulting. And 7 times out of 10, especially Sky, they're being assholes. And there was a lot of times this season where I was like, okay, even when Nomi got pregnant, it was just a lot of things that were being said to me that I was just like, why do they always have an attitude? They always walking around mad. It irritates me. When me and my mom watch the show and they say something out of pocket, I'm just like, why are you always coming for somebody? Like, yeah, that's kind of my thing with Jazz and Sky. They're the track girls. I love Chloe and Halle, but I feel like the writers just made them a little too, like, you know what I mean? Next, Anna. Anna, I really don't have a problem with her. She's just kind of a character that I'm like, I could live with, I could live without. She's cool though. I think she's interesting. Season 1, they really played up her being the conservative Republican Latina girl because, you know, you typically don't see that. Anna started sleeping with, kind of dating, having a thing with Aaron. And Zoe got upset about that because Zoe and Aaron used to like each other, but to me at the end of the day, Zoe chose Luca, and the way that Zoe was going about it, I felt like was a little entitled, a little selfish. Like, girl, why are you like crying and getting so mad and carrying on about a guy that you literally said you didn't want? Like, you literally dissed him and said, I don't choose you. So yeah, I don't know. Her character just, it doesn't really bother me. Luca. Okay. He's annoying to me. I honestly feel like Zoe and Luca, to me, there's no connection. There never was. I never thought they were cute. When it was between Luca and Aaron, I thought she should have chose Aaron. I felt like Zoe and Luca don't really have much in common besides fashion. And personally, I think Zoe kind of chose him because she thought they were a good-looking couple and the fashion thing might tie it together. But they're so different. His whole in touch with your chakra, organic, like smoking weed type thing. It's just a little, it's realistic because there are those types of kids in college. But to me, I mean, he's just kind of annoying. Aaron. Season 1, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they really played up the black activist, black power type, especially with that whole 12 Years a Slave. He played that for movie night on campus. Like, come on. As you guys could see, I felt like Aaron would have been a better pick for Zoe, except I don't even think Zoe deserves him. I don't like Zoe. But yeah, Aaron is cool. They toned down his character again. Kind of, you guys can see that there's a lot of character shift and development through the seasons. So I think that's definitely an interesting aspect. They toned it down, and I think that's important because somebody is more than just a political view, a standpoint, all of that stuff. We didn't get much of him, I feel like, season 3. But I do finally think that Aaron and Zoe are gonna link up because I've been waiting too long for this. I almost don't even care anymore. Anyways, so going through the characters and everything, those are kind of the reasons why I love the show, I hate the show. It's, for me, it's not like a black or white type situation. The reason why this inspired me was I kind of felt like I've seen a lot of, when the episodes were happening, a lot of commentary about the way that the show is structured, the way, a lot about the characters. And I know it's not on right now. Content, quarantine, thought I would talk about it. I've wanted to make this video for a while. So that's my opinion. And of course, it's a TV show, guys. I understand it is not that serious. Hence why I'm saying this disclaimer. I don't care that much. But for a YouTube video, if you're a YouTube content creator, you make content out of anything. And if I have an opinion, I'm going to share it. We all get wrapped up in our favorite TV shows. So yes, that is my take. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.